Glad you made it back, everybody. Senate Republicans are seeking a damning memo from Biden's Labor Department nominee, Julie Su. 2017, that memo reportedly directed her staff to obstruct, yes, obstruct and refuse entry to ICE agents who visited the labor offices looking to apprehend illegal aliens. That's right, Joe Biden's nominee allegedly sought to protect those who are breaking the law. Joining me now is Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville. He sits on the Senate Armed Services Committee. Great to see you, Senator. Plenty of examples of illegal aliens committing horrendous crimes since Biden took office. Many Americans are rightly pointing out that illegals would not be committing crimes if they weren't allowed to break into our nation in the first place. President Trump proved that Democrat lawlessness at the border doesn't have to be our normal. Can the GOP shame enough Democrats to stop another lawless nominee from getting power in Biden's government?
You'd hope so, Chris. This is a huge problem. And if you look at all the bad things going on across our country, the crime, inflation, or bad education, everything starts at the border. But, talking about Julie Su, who was a commissioner of labor in the state of California. First of all, let's talk about the problem she had as commissioner when COVID hit. Somehow she lost $30 billion with a B, $30 billion to fraud in California alone, and it just evaporated in thin air. And of course, she blamed it on fraud, cartels, people, and not people not knowing how to go by the rules. So that was the first thing she had a huge problem with. And then, of course, she sends out this memo to people that work for it, saying, don't cooperate with ICE. It's not your job. Don't let them in the building. Don't cooperate with them. She wrote this memo. We're trying to get that memo, by the way, but we're trying to get Democrats to vote with us. I think we're pretty good shape on the Republican side of nobody voting the other way, but hopefully we can get 2 or 3 Democrats, because she's not ready to do this job. But it's like the rest of the secretaries in Biden's administration. There's not very many good ones.
Well, sir, I want to talk to you about the unifying principles, allegedly, of the Republican Party, because praise God, you're going to be able to have enough Republicans that want to stick together and say, hey, Democrats and liberals may fail up in the private sector, but we can't have them failing up in government. A section of the $1.7 trillion omnibus spending bill, I want to read this to you, Senator. None of the funds shall be used to hire permanent federal employees or to acquire, maintain, or extend border security technology and capabilities, except for technology and capabilities to improve Border Patrol processing, meaning fulfilling Joe Biden's illegal immigration push. Now, these 18 Republican senators, including John Cornyn of Texas, voted to fully fund Joe Biden's lawlessness on the southern border and the subsequent destruction and death that has resulted. Sir, should the Senate GOP leadership have committed your political party to co-ownership of Joe Biden's border crises?
Well, everybody's got to vote for their people in their own state, but I was shocked they passed that. I was really shocked that we had 18 people across the line and voted for this. It was a bad bill. It was more spending. It was something that was destined to fail. And if you look at Joe Biden and the things he's running on now, he's saying, hey, look at all the great things I got done. I passed the infrastructure bill, the CHIPS bill, their first COVID bill, and Republicans helped him with it. They helped him pass it and helped them. Really, it should have been something that we're able to use against them, but it's hard to do that when you've had Republicans on your side vote for that stuff. But it is what it is.
It seems kind of simple to me, Senator. I mean, maybe a remedial course to your Senate GOP leadership saying Republicans are supposed to be the opposition party to Democrats. I mean, that's the way I've always, was brought up to believe. Look, I want to talk about the debt ceiling here, Senator, before we run out of time. Kevin McCarthy's bipartisan proposal. I want to play Chuck Schumer for you, blatantly lying about this on the Senate floor. Watch.
The Republican Default on America Act has no future in the Senate, and it does nothing to resolve the looming default crisis.
Okay, so Senator, I don't speak left-wing crazy, so perhaps you can translate for me. Chuck Schumer says that after the House passed a bipartisan debt deal to raise the debt ceiling and reduce the rate of government spending, that's what's putting the country in default, and that he and Biden sitting on their duffs doing nothing, that's not putting us in default. Can you square this circle for me, Senator?
Well, this is a circus up here. I mean, Schumer, I don't know how he became leader because he just speaks in circles. He doesn't talk for the Americans. He talks against America. And so this debt limit, we're not going to default on our debt. Number one, Janet Yellen, who's done an awful job, says that June the 1st, we're going to be broke. She has no clue what she's doing, okay? And we've got enough money to pay for the debt we owe. We can keep the government running, but the Republicans are not going to vote to close down our country. We're not going to do that. We're going to pay our bills. We borrowed the money. And so we're going to get that done. But, we've got to have some kind of help from the Democrats to cut back on spending, to get spending under control, get people back to work, get them off their tails and say, if you can work, you need to go work. And that this country was built on the backs of hard work.
Now, I agree. And one of the first people, Senator, that's got to get back to work is Senator Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden. They got to get to work actually doing their jobs. Senator Tuberville, thank you very much. Appreciate the visit.